So what are the other issues in the youth charter that young people should look forward to?
I think in terms of agribusiness and how His Excellency has I think he will purpose to make sure that agribusiness works hand in hand with technology, because that is where the world is moving towards. He has a passion for agriculture, and the youth are really, really venturing into agribusiness in terms of how they're doing it, in terms of the research, in terms of how they're implementing and running the agriculture sector, which since independence, I think, and should always be the backbone of the economy of the country. So there's that, and there's also the space in the creative arts. His Excellency William Ruto is very passionate.
Before you go to the creative arts, one of the major issues, even based on research, is that young people are not interested in agriculture because there's still the traditional mindset that agriculture is djembe and...
I tend to dispute. We have very many young people, as we speak currently, farming all the way in Kitale, Molo, Nakuru, and they're doing it in a very smart way. Look at platforms like Smart Farm. Look at platforms
what I mean
like...
is, if agriculture contributes 30% to our GDP, there should be a significant number of people, and in particular young people, involved in that sector. My point is that we don't have as many as should be there because of the perception of what agriculture is perceived to be. So what you're saying is that the government intends to automate, or
the technology, to incorporate technology into
so
farming,
that it's more,
so that it is more
lucrative,
to the young people, which is something they can resonate with. If I can be able to farm and manage my farm using a drone, I am drawn towards technology and I am drawn towards farming. So yeah, it sets you at a better platform.
I'd love to see the numbers around that, because it's one thing to write policies and to say we're going to use drones to do agriculture, but it's another thing to see the tangible output.
True.
Out there,
Again, it's just a matter of time. Call us back after 5 years.
We're not giving you 5 years. We'll call you back after a year.
We'll be here.
Mina, what else is in that youth charter?
Let me say this. In that youth charter, Sarah, is that we are also, let me just say that in the larger manifesto, the pillars are majorly on governance. That's what we have tackled here. The other pillar is on agriculture. That's what Wala has explained. The other pillar is on finance development. Finance development is where you access capital to develop your projects, SMEs, agricultural projects, any other technological projects. So, and this is what we have actually come up with the Hustler Fund that is set to be launched on 1st of December this year. So, from that engagement, we have allocated 50 billion towards that kitty. And the people who are going to access this capital are people with business platforms, you are in cooperatives, circles, or chamas, or other groups that have been registered by relevant government agencies. So that is under the finance development.
Before you move from finance,
yes,
it's one thing to give loans to young people. It's another thing for them to actually get the money. So enabling them, because loan funds, we've said before, is not a new thing.
Yes.
So it's the ease with which you access the funds.
Exactly.
But that's one way on the revenue side in terms of availing money to them.
Yes.
A bigger challenge is the betting, for example. When it comes to betting, a lot of young people are stuck in this culture of betting because they don't have livelihood. So you bet over here, you borrow to finance this other one, you bet or something like that. So is the government going to do anything to address that issue of betting? Because it's a menace.
You see, and this, there's a question you asked Wala about how are they going to benefit from these technological platforms and what have you. You see, in the larger manifesto and also in the youth charter, we propose that we have what you call business development hubs across the country. We had proposed it at sub-county level, but the larger manifesto captured it as at ward level. So the business development hubs, and I'm going to share that manifesto to you if you don't have it.
I have both the charter and the manifesto, I've read it.
Yes. The business development hubs are generally to take young people, even before you access this capital. How do you ideate, or how do you have an idea, make sure it goes through the
I think
growth phase.
what you said in the charter is that you create incubators in the TVETs.
Yes.
So that they take the young people through the process.
Exactly. All those
training.
all those trainings, so that they can now have a profit-making business. So we are going to take people not just to the current arrangement of Weather Fund and Youth Fund and Women Enterprise Fund, where you just come and take money and nobody follows you up on how you are going to use that money and how you are going to return it back to the facilitator. So we are going to take people through trainings so that they can have profit-making businesses and projects. Yes.
Okay.
The other thing, if I may add, is
that's
about
under finance.
Yes.
I'm sure there's more, but
Yes.
let's
yes,
tackle the
there's
finance
also
bit.
going to be a lot of mentorship for entrepreneurs in the incubation hubs. At what level? If you realize, part of the strategies that we employed in the campaign for us to succeed was that we were doing it from the ground up. We were working, yes, from the ward level. You come, you identify your coordinators, your ward managers from the ward level, because these are people who know each other and know how to coexist. Then you move it up the ladder. So the same case will apply even to the funds. Bring it to the ward level, the area MCA.
So the 50B will be cascaded down to the ward level.
Yes.
Who will be managing that fund?
I think it will be done, we're not quite sure, but maybe through the office of the MCAs, the elected MCAs, or I don't know what channel, but that would be the best, because an area MCA understands the ward better and understands the village through, like right now the draft relief, they're doing it through village admin. So if your village admin knows GP's place, they're really suffering and there's no food, he can specifically come and bring food to your doorstep. So, and it is working, it is working.
I think it would be important to to understand how the Hustler Fund will be
disbanded. That is true. I think that is something they're currently working on, and once the structure is out, it shall be rolled out to the general
because we don't want
public.
to assume.
Yeah.
Sela, you understand the issue of MCS.
I do. That's why I was asking.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I
No,
realized.
I'm not sure.
Because I didn't even want to
language.
voice it because
I would read your body language that you are adopting the whole arrangement. We don't want
it's
to create
because
assumptions.
let me
Yes.
explain myself.
Yes.
Lest anyone thinks I'm against MCAs. I absolutely love MCAs because I think they're the most important when it comes to the structure of government. The reason I'm asking is, first of all, not all this is going to be a government role. It's mainstream government, a national government role. It's mainstream government. How the money is disbursed is also, and it's also a political pledge, which means the success of the Hustler Fund is critical to re-election and also to the political capital of the current administration. So the thinking around how to disburse the funds, to not just to disburse, but to make sure that it has tangible outcomes and is effective, needs political backing as well, but needs to be within structures that can be controlled by the main government. So that's why I was just saying, MCAs, maybe, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to the 1st of December when they launch the...
I agree. It is not good that we assume the arrangements. I think it's something that is being consulted. In fact, yesterday I saw, I think he's the chairman of these small and medium enterprises, Parastatal. Yeah. So I think it is something that is going to have a clear...
Let's say we are all looking forward
yes.
to, but hopefully it's something that is well
yes.
thought through.
The other thing,
and different from the previous one.
Yes, the other thing, and this is the issue of agriculture, where you asked Wala about how do we make it appealing to young people. And this is by and large, even in the projects that are not even based on agriculture. You see, what makes everything appealing is what do you get at the end of the day? So access to markets is one thing that we are going to, one thing that Kenya Kwanza is prioritizing, where whatever you're going to grow, whatever you're going to develop as a business, the government will guarantee you, or it is going to hold your hand in accessing the market to sell your products. So access to market is something that is very critical in development of any project, whether it is agricultural or it's entrepreneurial based. So access to market is something that is being pursued. And I've also actually read the pillar on foreign policy of this government. And I've seen that their approach to foreign policy and relations with foreign governments will be more of conduct of what you call, quote unquote, economic or commercial diplomacy. So that means that the arrangement, the relations between our government and other governments will be based on how do we best market our products to the economy. And I've seen the Prime Minister of Spain just held their press conference with the president.
So
even the visits JP keeps
hear,
talking about, is the president just enhancing that? How do we do trade? How do we enhance economy? How do we enhance
access
business,
market.
access to market with our East African community?
My two colleagues here, I agree, and I really appreciate what the hustler government is trying to do in terms of agriculture. Economy depends on availability, of course, with all the networks that my brother was talking about. Because if you have, let's say you are doing smart farming, or you have a greenhouse that you have tomatoes, and you have like 2-3 lorries that you are supposed to transport to, let's say, Nyeri. Are you going to have that readily available market? Are you able to bring them to, do you have like a tender that you can drop them at Naivas or Carrefour or any other supermarket? Because my worry is, even as we try to do what we call the foreign policy that my brother is talking about in terms of economy, you'll get now the big people with big farms who will benefit from all this. Because if you open doors with Spain or any other Finland, we are going to produce flowers. How many Kenyans are able to have to have flower farms?
I think what he meant is that when you say market linkages from a foreign diplomacy policy, there are those crops that we need to sell. They're cash crops, so we need to sell them outside for them to make sense, because we cannot be able to consume all of them, like our tea, our coffee, all that. But internally, what he's saying is that we also need to create market linkages.
Yes.
Maybe if it's across counties, you know, inter-county, like Machakos will produce one thing that can be shipped to Turkana, something like that. So is that what you're saying that the government intends to do? Yes,
they intend to. In fact, under the IBEC, the arrangement is that we are going to, first of all, remove this intercounty revenue, the cess, so that people can now be able to move from one county to the other. And it is an arrangement that I've had even the chairperson of COG, that is Council of Governors, make a commitment towards. And I think...
how do you balance that with revenue generation for the counties?
I think that is an arrangement. I actually had even the chairperson of COG and the chairperson of the governor of Nairobi. I think that is an arrangement that they can best, you see that is a political, it takes a political understanding of all governors, that they can pursue other or alternative means of raising revenues, or they can have a modality of how if a truck is moving from county A to county B, how are they able to quantify, or how are they able to share these revenues that will be raised from that logistics? Because I had them talk of they rather come with one cess. Let me call it one cess. For lack of a
cross-board.
So that is going to serve across board. So how they are going to implement that and how they are going to ensure that there is accountability of resources moving of trucks from point A to point B is something that they can understand. They can be able to come up with within the secretariat or the technical teams. But be that as it may, we need to improve we need to have, Kenyans need to now to have the culture of believing, trusting in the resources and commodities that are developed internally. Because by and large, our economy is largely a consumer economy. I saw in Business Daily the other day that Kenya is now becoming an import hub, or you are importing basically almost everything. So we need, as you're saying, we need to have a
balance of trade.
Balance of trade, where we can consume our own products, and we can also improve, or we can take advantage of the various treaties and regional arrangements that we have signed to, like the East African Community, the COMESA, and the free trade
area. So that's you're saying, so when you're saying we should, nyinyi ndio mtafanya hiyo kazi, si ndio?
Yes, of course.
So it's now no longer the government will or the government should. So we will do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.